But there is a difference. You can put in Zoom.
תגיד, עוד מעט אנשים לאט לאט תיכנסו?
תנסי להעביר, כן. לא, 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 זה פיקצ'ר.
כן, שלא יראה, הנה. אוקיי, נתחיל עוד כמה דקות. We'll start in 5 minutes.
שיר.
הזום נגמר. הוא אמר שלא נתראה ואחר כך...
תסגרי את הרקע. טוב, בסדר.
בסדר?
We will start in 2 minutes. הרב עקיבא צ'פר.
את המחשב הזה?
לא, אני מסתכל. את יכולה לדעת את המחשב השני. לחיים, תביא להם משהו לשלוח.
רבי.
No, we're doing broadcasting today. We'll try something new, you know, this community.
We have to try something.
Otherwise, everyone get bored. Same thing.
I told Mason, I took Arava from you, and before time, I cut little bit from the back side. I put in water. There was some roots, and I put in again. I had 2 things.
You started?
I'll give it to you. Yeah,
You started? Yeah. Wow. This is good Arava. It's came from, no.
So next time I'll
how long it take to grow?
To get a root 4-5 days. And then little bit leaves.
He's bringing here.
למה אתה שמת וויסקי באמצע?
During Ocean Abba, like there were few extra, so I put it in water, cut it from behind and put in water.
Now again he'll bring the bottle here, huh?
Akiva, you want the bottle here?
I'm good, I enjoy it.
תרשמי לאנשים שמתחילים עוד 5 דקות. אלישבע. תרשמי לאנשים שמתחילים עוד 5 דקות.
I don't cook. Do I cook? No cook. Then I don't. No, you can drink. I don't. I don't know.
News very irritating. I have coffee. This is considered a kind? Yes. As per which posek?
Yeah.
This is how I speak on you. No. It's you look like Chabadnik anyhow.
Yes.
That's how you can go through the L'chaim. אולי תדע לתת לי מיני כל זה...
ביום לחיות עם הזמן.
לחיות עם הזמן, פרשת נוח. אז כן, זה ריץ חמאס, זה פרשה. אם על הארץ חמאס, זה ביניהם.
יש גם גוג ומגוג, יש גם גוג ומגוג ומגוג.
גוג בארץ, כן, יש מגוג ותובל. Shabbat Parashat Noach. We'll start another once it will be 7:32.
We got to start on time. He is German, he's yucky.
No, it's not yucky because people are entering by 7:30. If we told them 7:30,
they will start entering, not before 5 minutes.
Yes.
More people are going to come?
On the Zoom. We are
going to come on the Zoom.
Now we are going to...
We do a hybrid class.
We try to do something new. That the class is here and people will see us in the class.
Okay.
So you see, we are there seeing all of us. We can say hi. Hello. But they don't see us, yes. It started by 7:30.
So okay. I see that started.
No, they will start. זה לא קשה. פיצה. אבל יש לכם שיעור. Now, no, so you spoke with the דיברת איתו?
Oh, no. No.
לא תדע. Now there is a new Rabbi Yosef Chaim going. Shalom for everyone.
Hello.
We are broadcasting the class. We will start in 2 minutes. It is so nice, huh? It's interactive class. Wonder of the technology. Now the question is if you will listen to me or you will look on this.
No.
If I will. Can you hear me well there?
No,
I think they will hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes, can you? Very good. Okay, we'll start in 1 minute more, and then shalom for everyone. Shalom in the people here.
Shalom,
And people in the room. We have, can of course. The class is for the merits of our brothers and sisters in Emissary. Shalom Avner, how are you? From Israel. What you are wearing is, it sounds like you are volunteering in somewhere. The Maccabiah, no? Very good.
Helen Duron.
What? Well, it is where are you right now?
Right now I'm working with Helen Duron. It's teaches English in all over Europe and USA.
Wow. How is it, how you are there in the war? Quiet by you or not so quiet?
We are very quiet. Like I'm staying in the north. It's next to Haifa, so we have less of the azakot, but still we are in a stress. We don't go out. I'm working from home like from last week, and expect like the Lebanon and the Hezbollah won't start the. They're still throwing in middle of the day anytime. So we are in a stress. We are in a stress, but not as per like what the South people are going through. We are a little bit less than that.
Wow. Now it's starting from Lebanon.
They just few minutes back, like they sent some rockets to Kiryat Shmona and the surrounding area. But the last week we were in the stress in the evening time because they sent there was a plane without an it was a plane maybe of the Matslema, like for the camera. It was roaming around all over the north, and we were having al-ram like a zakot, a full in the full north.
Wow.
The full north. Yeah, but Baruch Hashem, like everything was fine. And next to like Shparam, like they destroyed the aeroplane there, and one in Haifa. So bentime Baruch Hashem, it's fine, and I hope like soon everything will calm down, and praying for Mashiach.
Victory now.
I didn't hear you.
We want now full victory.
Amen, Bezrat Hashem. Everybody is praying for that and trying to study.
Bezrat Hashem. So this shiur will be for the merits of people in Am Israel, in Eretz Israel, and for especially our soldiers, which definitely they are the big tzaddikim right now of the moment, which they are sacrifice their life for the people of Am Israel. Amen. So Bezrat Hashem, the class will be for their merits.
And for the tzava, for the army.
People, and yes, for our soldiers. Bezrat Hashem, they are definitely. Uncle. So this parasha, we will start now to speak about little bit Parashat Shavua. And, can you hear me? My voice is clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So we're speaking about this Parashat Shavua, which we're starting now. It's Parashat Noach. And Parashat Noach is the parasha, the second parasha of the Torah. And the Rebbe told us that nothing is. When the Rebbe, we know that from the time of that we got the Torah, that nothing is by chance. Everything is organized, and everything there is a message in the Torah. So the parasha starting, the Torah starting with parasha of Bereshit, last Shabbat. And in Parashat Bereshit, the Torah started with the creation. To tell us how God created the world. Bereshit, bara Elokim, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. We see
Bereshit means beginning.
in the beginning, Bereshit. Rashi explained by the way Bereshit, בשביל התורה שנקראת ראשית, and בשביל ישראל שנקראים ראשית. Which means, the Bereshit, why is said Bereshit? He said, בשביל for the Torah which called Reshit, which called the beginning, and the Israel that called the beginning. Bereshit. What it means the beginning? Because the world has been created and Hashem created light and darkness, which means he created the positive and the negative. And hence, if we have positive and negative, which means God creates options to us to choose. And on the day that God created the world, the purpose is that the man, the human, will choose the good, will choose to be in the light. How we and how it can be translated. So it says it's for the Torah that called for the beginning, which means when God created the world, he created with a purpose. He created the day and light. He created the options to do everything, but with a purpose, that the man will choose the right moral ethics and right way in the world. How it is possible? By the Torah. So hence, the Torah called it the beginning.
Okay.
The beginning of everything is the Torah. God wanted that people will serve, will observe the Torah, and hence he created the world.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover that, there is Jews. What is the job of the Jews? The Israel. Israel, the name of Israel is Yashar El, which means we're supposed to bring the straightness, the ethics of the divine, of God himself. And how to do? To show it and to make it available for the entire world. The world created for Israel, because who was Israel? They are the observant of the Torah. And they are the ones that they discover that there is such thing, Torah, to the entire world. And hence, Reshit, when we say something in the beginning, when I am planning something, I'm planning something. And now, for example, I want to build the house. When I started to build the house, when I put the first stone,
It's planning, isn't it?
when I'm doing the planning. And when I'm doing the planning, there are more deeper planning. How I want to have it. For example, I want to have a big office, or I want to have a big coffee area because I like to enjoy from coffee. So there is a purpose. Before I am starting to plan, there is in the beginning. And what is the beginning? Is what is my final results which I want to see. In every action which person do, he has to start in the beginning. What is the beginning? To ask himself why I want to do what I want to do. So in the beginning, Bereshit, the beginning, God didn't just create the heaven and earth. He didn't just create the light and the darkness. Beginning, it was Am Israel that was in his mind. And just a second, there is some double. Give me 1 second. There is 1 minute, 1 minute. Now it's okay? I think it's fine, now it's fine. So the beginning is when you're starting to plan for it. What is your purpose? What is the reason that you are starting to do what you do? Well, as we said, when you're starting a house, you're not the starting of building of the house. It's not at the time when you're starting to put the first stone. Not the time even when you're starting to plan it. In the time, I said, please reject 1 minute. So it's starting with a time when you looking for why you are building the house. For example, because then it will affect how you're going to plan the house. So in the beginning, the Torah starting from the word in the beginning. And Rashi explained, בשביל התורה שנקראת ראשית, בשביל ישראל שנקראת ראשית. That everything is coming from, was created for the Torah and for Israel that will observe the Torah. Because it represents the moral ethics of God. And this is how the Torah starts. Now, the Rebbe brings us, we know that the world created, entire creation of the world, described in the Torah, it was in 6 days. And the 7 days is Shabbat. And resting day. And it is not just because it's Shabbat. It was the time that it seems then the Shabbat is continuing, which means we are still counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since the day of creation, the entire world. No, we don't heard about anyone that counting 8 days in a week. We don't know someone that's counting 10 days in a week. See, it's counting 6 days, and it's repeating. Why it's repeating? It's a nature that Hashem put. Definitely, could someone can come? We saw that, for example, for the weight, there are someone weighing in pounds, someone weighing in kgs. Everyone weighing how he wants, but this is a week is repeating itself, which means in number 7, it's something, the 7 days of creation, it's something which was formed in the creation in such a way that everyone knows that we are counting 7 days. And moreover, then, since the day of the creation, there is no dispute. Today is Sunday here, and today is Sunday in America. Yes, difference of hours, but Sunday is Sunday.
Right. Everywhere is the same.
No, we didn't know. We don't know about someone else that said today it's Tuesday. Today is Thursday. No. It is that the Torah was giving reality that the world created by 7 days and it is supposed to repeat itself. And there is some pattern in this world. What is this pattern? The rules of God created the world. And the rules explained in the creation story. What it means? That there is land, there is water, and there is Shamayim, and there is Eretz.
Heaven and earth.
Heaven and earth. And we have, and there is animals. And everyone have a different job. And everything is coming to conclusion on Friday, on the last. And on Friday, when he created the man, which with a purpose, as we said, the purpose, the reason for when we creating the man, God created the world for him first. On Friday, and then immediately God rested. What it means rested? God need to rest? Does it need that God get tired?
But that was a holiday.
Yes, holiday. What he take now? We take it. I will take good whiskey now today. So, what is that we say that God rested?
He didn't work, but like you like studying the Torah over here.
What kind of rest God made? No, what it mean rest? When you conclude something, then you rest it. Which means the moment of pleasure discovered when you're working 6 days for a purpose. And then when the purpose getting fulfilled, then you rest. Which means God did in 6 days, which means for us, what we know about 6 days, we know that it's done in 6 days, physical 6 days, but for God, there is no concept of days, it's above times, above any limitation, any kind of understanding, but which means 6 stages of the creation, and then in the 7th stage. There is a stage number 7, which is a concluding of the entire 6. For example, person work all the week and he keep money for doing Shabbat. He is coming home, take the money that he needs. He's working all the week for the Shabbat. Then he rests. What he resting for? He already slept good in afternoon. It's different rest. The rest is, okay, I reached to the point which I wanted to reach. Hence now I am staying, I'm taking from what I prepared. For example, when you're building a factory or building a building, you conclude and then you rest. The rest, it's not because you are going to sleep. The rest is because you concluded. And the conclusion giving you a pleasure. Which means when you succeed to do something which you plan to do, it's in the human. Then what happened with him? In fact, he reached a situation which is happy. Why?
Because the work you finished.
Not because of work, because he succeeded to complete the work. Once the person is succeeded to complete the work, then you are talking about the pleasure because he completed the mission. The same order have been circulating the creation since the day of it started until our days. God gave us missions. Sometimes there are weekly missions, there is monthly missions, there are yearly missions, which God knows exactly when He wants to conclude us. And every week there is a different light and different mission that God planned for us. And every Saturday we conclude in one part of this mission. And from this we take power to achieve more in the week to come. Parashat Bereshit, it's the first parasha of the Torah. And Parashat Noach is the second parasha of the Torah. Parashat Bereshit speaks about the creation of Hashem. How Hashem created the world. We know, as a Jews, there is a reason why we are reading the Torah entirely, completing it every year. Why? Because Jew supposed to live with the parasha. Every parasha is relevant to our very much days, like the 7 days routine is completing, same day, 365 years in a year. By the way, we also not seeing disputes. Some people say 360 days, 365 days, but in general, it's the same circle, which means everyone agree that 1 year, it's not 3 years. It's 12 months, depend on the few days here and there, depend on the calculation, but in general, there is reputation which we see. Why? Because we see that the walk of the earth and the sun, it's clear that there is a reputation which Hashem repeat some in the nature, some rules which are there. And hence, from this we learn, that's why Chachamim let us to finish the Torah every year. And we have finished it in Simchat Torah, and starting it in Simchat Torah. Starting in Simchat Torah, and then we say Parashat Bereshit, and then we continue parasha to 53 parashot. And we are reading these 53 parashot into the 51, or depend on how many weeks in the week. In the year, between the 51, sometimes 53, sometimes 50, a little bit less, depend on the Jewish year, how it's fall, but we are completing it in 1 year. This 53 in Hebrew, it's Gan. Nun Gimel, Nun it's 50, Gimel it's 3, Gan Sdarim Dorai. There are 53 orders, rules, set of life that God put in each parasha. In each parasha, there is a special guidance specific for the same time being in this year. Which means when we read Parashat Bereshit, we need to know that right now, what is happening, we're starting a new year, there is a renewal of life forces in the world. And when it comes to Noach, we need to learn what the story of the parasha tells us. The Mabul, how Hashem gave hope to the earth, even of the things. We also need to see it in our relevance of our life, and we'll try to see it in our discussion today. So, in Parashat Bereshit, we see that God gave life to the earth. God created the earth, give it life. And obviously, if this parasha is the first of the year, which means this parasha is called the public parasha, which means general parasha. We don't say public, we say general, which means like that in the point, for example, when you have an idea, the idea spread out to detail. But before we start, when it starts, the idea coming in your mind, in it, there is everything already. All the details already came in the blink of the eye. Like the same thing when you take a seed of a fruit. The seed already conclude in it all the fruit, all the life forces required for the tree that will come after it, and the fruit which will come out of it. Because already it's concluded, everything is the same. Shalom, shalom. Everything is concluded in the same seed. So the same thing when the Torah starts with Parashat Bereshit, means in this parasha also the entire life forces which the Torah have conclude in this parasha. Come. So, come. So, Parashat Bereshit is indeed the general parasha, but the Rebbe said that also the Parashat Noach.
Thank you.
Parashat Noach, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom.
Rabbi,
Shalom Aleichem. L'chaim.
okay, this is online lecture.
We have everyone with us. Hey, you can say shalom to everyone.
Shalom everyone.
Dennis, מה שלומך?
अरे बाप रे अपडेट कर सुरू कर.
Yes, everyone. He's watching it was like his son.
Thank you.
L'chaim.
अरे son, अरे बाप रे. So cute. So cute.
Shalom.
So we said that the parasha of Bereshit, it's indeed general parasha. Shalom Elis.
अरे listen.
Okay. So which means the potential of the entire life forces that God gave in this Torah, in our Torah, which means the entire power of the year is concluded in Parashat Bereshit. The Rebbe said because Noach is also the second parasha, it's also in Parashat Noach, and he will explain how. In Parashat Bereshit, what it was explained, how God created the world. And then, Moshe Chai, לא עכשיו. How God created the world. And then we hear the story about Adam and Eve. And what was in the story on Adam and Eve? There, which means there is definitely not a story, just a story. It's a story with a deep meaning. But the general meaning that God got a mission to the world. Some of the explanatories, some of the people, the way the sages explain as per the Chassidut, as per the Torah, that Adam HaRishon, we need to speak to understand what it means. This is the first man that God created on the earth. He created it in his hands. Now God has hands. God have everything, but which means we're talking about something much more, which means he was in a knowledge that God created, because he could understand that before him was nothing. So which means he could say, I am the creation of God, because he knew divinity. The Torah explained that he named the animals, which means, and the Torah said, כל אשר יקרא לו נפש חיה, האדם בנפש חיה הוא שמו. Every name that God, that the man will give, this is the name. And then we're hearing about the story of Adam and Eve and the snake. From where the snake came? Suddenly in Eden there are snakes. So which means there is something more deep. And we will not enter to the entire explain about Adam and Eve because it's off the subject, but just to some knowledge, we know that Adam, what is the differentiate between the man and the animal? The man has the ability to feel and to speak.
Right.
And the animals, they have ability to think, but only for their specific. And the snake, he was showing to the woman a different reality. He said, what you and the man and Adam seeing, it's only divine reality. But the animals and the creatures of the world are feeling, which means are in their being, they are feeling they're something far from God. God is there and he's here. They don't feel that they and God is one thing because he creates them and he gives them life in everyone. And hence, in order that you will be able to bring down this wisdom, you have to call what we to eat from the fruit of the knowledge. The fruit of the knowledge. When we're talking about knowing something, which means you are already having a debate. When you're having a debate, which means you are starting to sing. And if it's like that, which means you're starting to put the question. Then you are not unity with God fully. And this is the fruit of the knowledge tree in a spiritual way. But will not enter to this. And then after the woman started to wave it out, the man decided that now I have no choice to go down to this out of Eden and to bring the reality of God oneness even in the place which is not called Eden. Not in the place, even the place which is not, it's not so clear that God is the being of everything. And this is the thing in story. But even so, we see that the man got a job, which means the man, the word Adam in Hebrew, composed from the letters Aleph and Dam. What is Dam? Blood. What is Aleph? Aleph represents in Hebrew Aluf, like the source of all the being. It's the beginning of all the letters. It is very spiritual letter, which actually symbolizes the hidden wish of God. And then he composed between blood, which means something which is low being, to something very spiritual. And he is the man. The man supposed to take wisdom and connect it and translate it to things which he do and create in the world. How? By bringing down knowledge that he gets from God. Every who put ideas in our mind, we think about it, no? So it's wrong, because we see sometimes that we make ourselves notes and we tell ourselves, I will not forget, and we forget. And so many times that we totally forgotten us about something, and God showed us that we have to remember, which means that who putting an idea in our mind? God himself. So hence, so what is in our head? What we want to do good or to not to do what he wants. If you want to do what he wants, to do good, he will give you abilities from him. If you will not do what you want, in the beginning, he will also provide you, because you want to go your own way, you go your own way, he will show you. But in the end, it will stop, because it's not like you want. And this is the mission which we got in Parshat Bereshit. You are the man, you have the power, you go and change the world. Le'ovda u'shomra, it says in the Torah, which means you have a to walk. Le'ovda, to work it, and the shomra, and to save. Which means that the man have two guidance: to develop and to preserve. If you want, you can take it in a two different objectives: what to do and what to not to do. Like in the mitzvah of the Torah, there are 248 commands positive to do, and 365 not to do. And this is all in potential. In Parshat Bereshit, it's still like a seed before it's starting to bring roots. It's in Parshat Bereshit. In Parshat Noach, we hear a different story. What the story is? The story speaks about that there is a person, he is tzaddik. Why he considered tzaddik? Noach ish tamim, היה בדורותיו, את האלוקים מתהלך נוח. ונוח מצא חן בעיני השם. which means he was walking the God. What it mean? Walking with God. He was in understanding, like the different people, which by the way called Hamas. Himala Hamas is the name. In this week parasha, we have the word like Chaim, you said Hamas, and you said also Gog and Magog, you said, no? Yes. Gog and Magog. So in this parasha, so we see that the world was created and differentiated for two groups of people. The entire world and Noah. Noah was someone that God liked. Why? He didn't do mistakes. He did probably. כן, גם עזה רשום, רואה?
גם עד עזה,
גררה עד עזה, נכון.
יש
מעניין. כמה עסקים. But so in this parasha that said that there are entire people in the world that they was called, that they were doing Hamas. What is it mean Hamas? Hamas, which means the opposite
the willing of the God.
the opposite of the willing of the God. This is called Hamas, which means the bad behavior. By the way, they explained that all the time of the Mabul, all the flood on the earth, it was because of Gezel, Shfitzim Damim, the Gilui Arayot, and to be immoral sexual things.
And stealing.
And we think that all this exactly represented in our day of Hamas, and they not by chance called themselves Hamas. Hashem put their mind to call themselves Hamas because God wanted to differentiate. You see what is Hamas? This is Hamas. Dictionary, Hamas, pictures, you can see. So the same, what you started to say?
This morning, Supreme Court gave the judgment against the application of the same-sex marriage. Yeah, when you were saying something about sexual thing.
Yes, yes.
This is the
you see,
landmark judgment.
So this is actually we're seeing that the world getting improved. Every kind of this kind of judgment, it's actually which means that the world fixes itself, rejecting bad things. This is what the work of the people. So in Parashat Noach, we see actually how God de facto say that everything created for the world to be moral, which means for the Torah and for Israel. How we said before, Torah is a purpose of the world. Correct? Why? Because when you're creating a house, it's not starting from when you're starting to build it. It's not starting from when you're starting to plan it. It's starting from the time that you ask yourself why I want the house.
Right.
So then God created, he said, why I want the world, in order that people will go in the right way. That's why God created the world. And that's why for Torah, which represent the ultimate right way, and for Israel, that they represent the people who have brought the ethics and law and codes to the world in order to make this world like God wished. And then we think in the next parasha, 1,000 years, that God gave a free to the man to do whatever he wants without it. Take 3,000 years. He gave no rules. No one will tell you what to do. You want to kill, kill. You want to eat, eat. It was that time. So they have been doing wrong things. They got tremendous power from God. The human got tremendous power from God. He got the Aleph, the wisdom, and that he will be able to do whatever he wants. And he let it to be used for his own will, not for the right will. However, there was one person, after 1,000 years, one special person, the special neshama that came to the world was named Noach. Noach מצא חן בעיני Hashem. Why? We see so much is מצא חן בעיני Hashem that Hashem destroyed the entire world and kept him and his kids. His kids was not perfect. You had one of the kids, which was, we know it was Knan, Aru Knan. He was very problematic, very problematic kid, but still, God chose Noah. Why? Noah, here the Rebbe emphasized, we see that the time of the creation, we see the word Elohim 32 times. 32 times, בראשית ברא אלוקים את השמיים ואת הארץ. ויאמר אלוקים, not say ויאמר השם. We know there is two names which commonly mentioned. There are more, but commonly mentioned two names, two nicknames, which we call the Hashem, because Hashem cannot be described even by any kind of name. But our Chachamim called him, and our fathers called him in two names. One name is name of Elohim, which means in Hebrew, Elohim, power, the source of all the source of all Baal HaYecholet, the owner of all the abilities and the owner of all the powers. This means Elohim. And there is a different name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the name, Havaya. Yes, we say it in a different ordinary, which actually speak that God existed. He's not just the owner of all the powers, he giving existence to everything. And what it means when we say two names, which means it's a two level of being, which means in mind being, which means I can take God as the one who is owner of all the forces, which means I need to ask him, pray for him, and he will give me, which is correct. But there is another level of being that, wait, God, that God created. God make me being right now. If God didn't want me to exist right now, I would not be exist, because he exists everything. I will not be able to take coffee up if God will not permit it. It's much more than just he giving all the powers. He giving being for all the beings. And for this being, then you are asking yourself a different question. So you're not asking yourself anymore, God, I need to ask God to provide me. Of course he will provide you. He created you. This is not a question anymore. There is in this being, you are a different level. He creates me, and hence he takes care about what I need, what he thinks that I need. Sometimes I think different. And hence everything is right. So what he wants me to do, then it's a different relationship. It's a different relationship that you are not asking anymore, God, just help me, guide me, give me, let me. You are asking, God, why I'm here? You created me, and hence, what is my job? You're starting to look at yourself like someone that's supposed to be in a job. And we think that after all the creation was created with the name of Elohim, which means that there is the default knowledge of God, of Elohim in the world, that he is the owner of all the powers. Very few people thinking on themselves on a level of what I need to do for God. Okay. Everyone think what I need to do, what I need to get from God to me. That's what we say. Elohim italech Noach. But the Noach מצא חן בעיני Hashem. Noach, he was in a different level. He understood that he had a mission, and hence it was able for him to not do the mistake of the other people. He was telling them that God did not created me that I will do cheat and or I will harm someone. Could not be. Why God created me in order that I will do good.
Right.
And hence for him, it was clear that the being supposed to be that we're supposed to know that there is God and there is every one of us at a mission. And if we saw, the world has supposed to run in a different way. And this is where we see that this thinking, this is what God wanted to be exist in the world. Like we said, the Torah is the beginning. The Torah is the purpose of everything. Once the entire world was not going in the right way, they go in the way of Hamas, God decided to create reality which will be cleaner and better. Why? In order to go forward and in order to be able to create the world as its purpose. So let's conclude. God created the world, but he created for the purpose. And what the purpose is? That the man will use his wisdom to develop and preserve. To do what is good and not to do what is bad. Then, this is how the world, this is a clear message that's coming from Parashat Bereshit. And this is coming every year, and we're supposed to remember. After that, it's a general message. The message starting to go to details. What described as Hamas? What described as bad? And that God have mercy on the world. Because he doesn't want that the world will go destroyed. So he rather remove what is bad in order to bring what is good. And from there is a big hope that created. We see in the end of Parashat Noach, already the world distributed for many, many nations. And more than that, then after that, Abraham Avinu come, which will bring the message more deeper to the world. And then from Abraham will continue to Moshe, and then hence on all the 53 Deoraita orders, the Torah orders. We see now, we know the story of David. We conclude, we see now what's happening in Israel. In Parashat, in Simchat Torah, time that everything beginning, what we see, complete darkness. But obviously, God is merciful. Could not do that, could not be in our mind that God did such thing because he wants to punish. God doesn't mean to punish. Especially our Torah, de facto, said that we're not talking about punishment when there is a general thing, which means there is a different reason that we are looking for. There is no any personal encounter here. And moreover, the people who died there, they are considered Mesirut Nefesh, people who give their life because they are Jews. And it says that even the highest creatures cannot stand in their level in front of God. So in the first day of the year, when we start in Parashat Bereshit, Simchat Torah, we think such thing, complete darkness. And obviously, it's for something good. Obviously, it's for something to arouse us something stronger in our walk. After the Mabul, after the flood, Noach didn't want to go out even. He was depressed. Why he was starting to drink?
No, yes.
It said in the Torah. He was depressed. He was seeing the entire world destroyed. And then he was depressed. Then what Hashem did?
You know, we did it.
He gave him the brit. And what the brit is? It's a keshet, the rainbow.
Rainbow.
And what is a rainbow? The rainbow actually, it's combination of the darkness of the world with the light of the sun. If you see how rainbow created, Anan is cloud, which means situation of dark, and
This, the ray of the sun.
and the ray of the sun. Together they clash, they create 7 colors. 7 again. Which means God promised,
They will know the difference.
not just will not do it again. He will said, I will interfere before it's happened. I will reveal myself in order that the world will not be in a situation which have to be destroyed again. God will not let it. So since that time,
First and last.
first and last, which means, yes, will be a situation which will be close to the earth, it will look like darkness, but I will definitely show light to guide. And hence we see, we have been in very dark situation last year in the land of Israel. More than life people, it was started to be in enmity one with each other.
Yeah, between them.
And God said, no, don't destroy yourself, you are one. We have need 1,500 people to awaken us. Unfortunately, it's has been awakened us. It's definitely, you can see the unity right now in Eretz Israel, it's a different level. Instead of cursing one each other, everyone blessing one each other.
Yes.
Instead of hatred, they're giving gift to one each other.
Yes, right.
And you need to understand the spirit of such war, spirit of unity, the spirit of strength, the spirit of goodness which created, it's a different level. So it said that before the Geulah, before the redemption, God will make us to be united. To be how? How? Because when we got the Torah, he said, "Vayachanu keneged ahar." They landed against the mountain. Vayichan. They land. In a singular. He land. He land against but nation of our Israel is many. But it's a singular, he said, Vayichan. Which means, Rashi says there, explain, Ke'ish echad, belev echad. The one man in one heart. What is the one heart? To the unity with. So we conclude the idea, in order to be able to remove ourselves from the, we know that every one of us has a bad inclination, which sometimes do tell us, we don't need to be so like Noah. We can be less like Noah and more like other things. Then he said, if you will ask yourself, not just what God give me or not give me, you ask yourself, what is my mission? You will know that God exists in you right now for a purpose, then you will be in a different situation. This is what the name of Yosef that was named Shem Shamayim Shagur Al Piv every time that he was involving God in every step of his action. And in Parashat Noach, we're doing it already, it's already starting to sort out the world. Now we will say, this is for Parashat Shavua, we'll say another few halachot about the keshet and about some blessings.
The rainbow.
The rainbow. There are some special halachot, special blessings, which we say when we hear the voices or sing in on the sky, a rainbow, or we're hearing, איך אומרים רם? Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder and lightning. So each of them have a certain. Did you know that? That when you
Yes,
see
yes, yeah.
you knew when you see a lightning, there is a special bracha. You knew it. It's a very simple bracha. What you are creating, what we are blessing there. I will just open it. I will say it now. There are special blessing. We know there is blessing of the food before we eating something of the land. We eating. We say Borei Peri Adama. When we eating mezonot, something with some cake or something like that, or biscuit, we say Borei Mina mezonot. When we say date, ha'etz. Then we said when we take whiskey, shehakol. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Then there are blessings for mezuzah. There are several. Now, if we hear a thunder, what we bless, there is a blessing which says, Baruch Ata Hashem, bless you Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, shekocho ugvurato malech olam. So bless you Hashem, the name of God, our Elokeinu, King of the world, that his power and his strength fill the world. Which means that we can feel and see his strength in every place. This is the first blessing. So when we say, when we sing lightning, or if we sing falling star, also falling, you knew that for falling star you are also blessing. So on falling star also you are blessing, and when you are seeing a lightning you are blessing. Baruch Ata Hashem, bless you Hashem. Elokeinu melech haolam, our God, King of the universe. Oseh ma'aseh bereshit, who is doing the creation of bereshit, that renewing the world all the time. This is when we see lightning.
Okay.
And when we see a rainbow, what we said, Baruch Ata Hashem, bless you Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, King of the universe, our God, King of the universe. Zocher habrit, ונאמן בבריתו, וקיים במאמרו. Who remember the covenant, who is trusted his contract, or is trusted in his indenture, and he's existing what he said. That he will, instead of destroying us, he guiding us toward better existence. That's it. Anyone question? Any? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yasher Koach.
God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone for
Good
joining.
night.
Toda rabba rabba.
Pray for the safety of Israel.
Amen. Am Israel Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Thank you.
Eris, I see you Saturday.
Good night.